is Orange Sauce, and welcome back to the NCAA Dynasty. This is Week 2 versus Wyoming. Here come the Pokes as they enter the field to take on the Idaho Vandals. Idaho lost last week to North Texas in blowout fashion, and they want to get back on track with a win today. Here's the kick. And it's going to be returned by Coker. He's going to take it out of the end zone and get to about the 20-yard line. Josh Coker. He had 2 catches, 21 yards, and 0 touchdowns. And he is Idaho's best receiver. Idaho comes out with a shotgun look. He fakes the handoff. He pitches it. And Aaron Kirby gets maybe 8 yards on the carry. Idaho runs a lot of option these days now that Orange Sauce took over as head coach. And Andrews pitches it to Francis, and Francis gets a first down. Idaho's really looking to get back on track after being blown out last week by North Texas. And there's a first down, but it's probably going to come back because of a pass interference on Idaho. That's going to make it 1st and 20. And Idaho's going to have to dig themselves out of a hole here. And Andrews starts off good as he gets a 12-yard rush to make it 2nd and 8. And the pass is dropped by Givens. Dustin Andrews is 0 for 1 on passes today as his first pass is dropped by Givens. He fakes the handoff and he does not get the first down, and Idaho's going to be forced to punt. That is not how Idaho wanted to start out. They wanted to score on their first drive. And Jones is just running over people. TJ Jones with an 11-yard rush on Wyoming's first play of the game. And they hand it back to TJ Jones, and he gets stopped for no gain as he gets gang tackled by 3 Idaho Vandals. And they hand it off to TJ Jones again, and he breaks free, and he could go all the way. And he's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Wyoming goes up 7-0 in the first minute and a half of the game. And TJ Jones just breaks free for a huge rush. And Andrews is trying to get back in the game with a 13-yard rush here. He fakes the handoff and he passes it to Owens. And Owens does not get a first down. It's 2nd and inches. Andrews fakes the handoff, and he gets a first down and more with a 14-yard rush. He fakes the handoff again, but he's tackled for only 3 yards on the carry. Andrews is filling in for an injured Joe Pitts, and Gould with an 8-yard reception. Joe Pitts wins down in Week 1 versus North Texas. And Kirby gets the pitch, and he gets 3 yards on the carry. 2nd and 7, Andrews fakes the handoff. He draws the defenders and pitches it to Francis, and Francis only gets a yard. Trevor Francis with 2 rushes and 6 yards today. He did not do very well last week, and Dustin Andrews gets stopped in the backfield for -3 yards. Idaho punts, and Wyoming hands it off to TJ Jones, and TJ Jones could break free, but he gets tackled at about the 47-yard line. And they hand it off. No, they do not hand it off to TJ Jones. And Jeff Hollis gets a 7-yard rush on the fake handoff to TJ Jones. He hands it off to TJ Jones, and TJ Jones is just having a monster day so far, and it looks like he's not going to go in for 6 with a 37-yard rush, and that's going to set up 1st and goal for Wyoming. And it's a no, he's overthrown in the end zone. Jeff Hall's had a guy wide open, but he overthrew him in the end zone. And it's 2nd and goal. He fakes the handoff, but he gets tackled at the 6-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal. If Idaho can stop him here, that'll be a real momentum shifter. And it's a sack. On 3rd and goal, Jeff Hollis is sacked for -3 yards, and the Idaho Vandals stopped it. And he missed it. He missed the field goal. Wyoming's only going to stay up 7 as the field goal bounced off the upright, and he missed it. And now we have the third string quarterback in as Andrews went down. Lance Cole calling the signals now. He drops back and he hits Coker for a first down and 16 yards. He hands it off to Aaron Kirby, and Aaron Kirby breaks free, and Aaron Kirby gets 40 yards on the carry, and Idaho already has more than 100 rushing yards on the day. Lance Cole fakes the handoff, and he goes in for a touchdown. Idaho ties it up after Wyoming misses a field goal, and Lance Cole makes them pay for that missed field goal. Wyoming's going to be thinking about that one in the locker room. And Jeff Hollis drops back and he passes it to Griffin. And Griffin gets a first down. 1st and 10. Jeff Hollis drops back and he passes it to Griffin again. And Griffin fumbles and it's recovered by Idaho. Royal, he takes it down to the 30. And Idaho has really turned things around. This could be huge, as it's Idaho ball, and this is looking like it's going to come back. It is under review, and this is going to come back. This is going to be Wyoming ball, 1st and 10 on the 46-yard line. Second quarter, it's 2nd inches, and Hollis fakes the handoff, and he gets a first down, and he's out to maybe the 43-yard line. There's about 4 minutes left in the second quarter, and Wyoming is looking to go up 7 to put the pressure on these Vandals to get back in the game. And he passes it, and Jackson comes down with it at the 32-yard line for Wyoming. And Jeff Hollis is just having a monster day so far, as he's only had one incompletion on the day. And that's a touchdown, and Wyoming goes up 14-7, and Idaho needs to step it up on defense. Andrews is back in the game. He passes it to no one in particular, and that's an incompletion. Aaron Kirby gets 7 yards on the carry to set up a 3rd and 3, and he hands it off to Aaron Kirby, and Aaron Kirby breaks a tackle to get 5 yards and a first down. They're going with the read option, and Andrews fakes a handoff, and he gets 10 yards and a first down. Andrews in the shotgun. He audibles into a running play, and they get 5 yards to set up a 2nd and 5. And Andrews fakes the handoff, and he breaks free with a first down and 11 yards. Dustin Andrews is having a monster day on the ground, not so much in the air, as he passes it off to Damian Owens, who gets 3 yards. And he fakes the handoff. He finds Green for a first down and 16 yards, and that's going to set up a 1st and 10 for Idaho on the 24-yard line. Trevor Francis with the 6-yard rush there. Andrews drops back, and he gives it to Coker, who comes down with it on the 6-yard line. And that's going to set up a 1st and goal, and Idaho can tie the game right here. And Aaron Kirby sets up the 2nd and 1 on the 1-yard line. Andrews fakes a handoff, but he's stopped. This is going to be 3rd and goal on the 3-yard line. And Trevor Francis gets the ball and goes in for a touchdown. And Idaho ties it up 14-14. Idaho's looking to get a stop here on defense. They haven't been able to do it all day long. Owen Blount breaks a tackle to break free for a first down and more, but he's tackled at the 45-yard line after gaining 30 yards on the reception. Idaho's defense really needs to step it up here. And Coleman drops back, and he gives it to Joyce, and Joyce gets 1 yard on the reception. Wyoming's going with a spread look here. Coleman hands it off to Rivers, and Rivers gets a first down and more with a 13-yard reception. Once again in the shotgun. And Coleman drops back. And he can't find anyone open, so he just carries it, but there's a flag. And Wyoming in the shotgun. And Coleman drops back, and he can't find anyone open, and he's sacked for -8 yards, and that sets up a 2nd and 28 after the penalty made it 1st and 20. And Blount breaks free, and he sets up a 3rd and 8 after a long pass play by Coleman. And Coleman drops back, and he can't find anyone, and he just throws away. And Wyoming kicks a field goal, and it's good. Andrews drops back, and he finds Owens, and Owens gets a 1st down and more with 27 yards on the reception. And Andrews drops back again, and once again he finds Gould, who gets 26 yards and a 1st down, and that sets up Idaho for maybe up for maybe a touchdown, and Gould gets a touchdown right there. Guy Gould, number 87 from Dustin Andrews, who's 8 for 10 today. And Hollis drops back, and Hollis dumps it off to Jackson, and Jackson could go in for a touchdown, but he's tackled on the 5. But hold up, there's a penalty, and it's going to be a face mask on Idaho, and a half can't end in a penalty, so Wyoming's just going to go ahead and kick a field goal here to make it 21-20. He missed one of these earlier, but he knocks this one in, and that makes it 21-20 going into half. Hollis drops back, and he's sacked for -4 yards. And they have no one in the shotgun with Hollis, and Hollis drops back, and he finds Blount, and Blount gets a 1st down and 15 yards, my bad. And Hollis drops back again, and he passes it to Griffin, who gets a 1st down, and Idaho cannot stop this passing attack from Wyoming. And Blount once again with the reception and 7 yards to set up 2nd and 3, and Hollis can't find anyone, so he's just going to run, and he's going to get 20 yards. Oh, but he fumbles, and Idaho recovers. This one is not coming back, folks. This is a fumble all the way, and Hollis, trying to do too much, fumbles the ball, and that gives Idaho a chance to go up by 8. And Andrews in the shotgun, and he gives it to Coker, and Coker breaks free, and Coker gets maybe 15 on the reception, but that's a 1st down, and Andrews fakes the handoff, and he gets 4 yards on the carry. Andrews drops back, he gives it to Medlock, but Medlock drops it. They go with a little trip shot option. He pitches it to Kirby, and Kirby gets stopped, and that's 4th and 11, and Idaho's going to be forced to punt. And Wyoming with the ball. Jeff Hollis drops back, and he gives it to Griffin, and Griffin gets 8 yards on the reception. And Hollis in the shotgun. No one around him. He hands it up. Oh, he fakes the handoff to TJ Jones. It's a jump pass, but it's incomplete. And Hollis once again in the shotgun. And TJ Jones just breaking free, and he gets tackled at the 44-yard line. And that was an ankle tackle, and that was really lucky. And TJ Jones only gets 1 yard on the carry. And Hollis fakes the handoff, and he's tackled for a 1-yard loss on the play. And 3rd and 9. But once again, Wyoming gets a 1st down on 3rd down. Idaho has not been able to stop Wyoming on 3rd downs at all today. And that's a 19-yard reception for Griffin. And that's going to set up a 1st and 10 in the red zone for Wyoming. And Wyoming on the 2-yard line, 2nd and inches. And it's a speed option, and Hollis is stopped for -4 yards. And he audibles out of the play, and he drops back, and he can't find anyone, so he's just going to run it. But he's stopped on the 1-yard line, but that's a 1st and goal. Hollis drops back, and it's a touchdown, Wyoming. And Wyoming is going to go for 2. And they're not going to get it. Andrews drops back, and he gives it to Francis, and Francis gets nowhere on the play. Andrews dropping back again, and he gives it to Medlock, and Medlock comes down with it for 11 yards and a 1st down. Kirby up the middle, and he gets 7 yards on the carry. Idaho going with the hurry up, and they're going to be in the shotgun. And it's looking like it's going to be a handoff to Kirby, and Kirby's not going to get the 1st down as he's stopped for a 1-yard gain, and that's going to make it 3rd and 2. And Andrews gives it to Medlock, and Medlock comes down with it for a first down. Andrews fakes the handoff, and he pitches it, and Francis gets 6 yards on the carry. And it's going to be a screenplay here, and Kirby is open, and Kirby does not get anywhere. He only gets a yard on the screen. And Andrews fakes the handoff, and he's going to get a first down and more as he slides to avoid the contact. And Wyoming up 5, and Grant takes it up the middle for 10 yards and a first down. Cody Grant with the first down. Andrews gives it to Stover, who gets 8 yards to set up a 2nd and 2 on the 7-yard line, and Grant goes in for a touchdown to give Idaho the lead. And that's going to make it 27-6 as Idaho goes for 2 and gets it to make it 29-26. And Jeff Hollis drops back, but he's sacked. And that's going to be -5 yards, and that's going to set up 2nd and 15. And Hollis drops back again, and he can't find anyone, and he's sacked again. And that's -8 yards, and that's going to set up 3rd and 23. And Hollis drops back once again, and he finds Blount, but it's too little too late, as that's going to be 4th and 9, and they're going to be forced to punt. And Andrews fakes the handoff and finds a hole, and he goes up for a huge gain of about 30 yards. And Andrews fakes the handoff, and he finds Owens, and Owens gets a first down and 17 yards on the reception. Andrews in the shotgun again, and he's going to pass it to Coker, who gets a first down and 11 yards on the reception. And Idaho could go up 36-26 in the 4th quarter to recover from their loss to North Texas the week before, and Andrews gets stopped for -2 yards, and that's going to be 3rd and 5. This is a big play here, and Andrews drops back, and Idaho gets a touchdown, and that's going to be 36-26 as Brian Medlock comes in the clutch for a touchdown. But Wyoming hasn't given up yet, as Hollis drops back, and he gives it to Rivers, who gets 5 yards on the reception. And Hollis drops back again, and he can't find anyone, so he's just going to run it, and he gets a first down and more with 13 yards. 2.5 minutes left as Hollis drops back, and he passes it to Brown, and Brown gets 9 yards on the reception. And Wyoming going with the hurry up as Hollis drops back, and he passes it, and he comes down with it. Griffin comes down with it, and Hollis drops back, and it's caught for 14 yards and a first down as Wyoming is just passing all over these Idaho Vandals. And Griffin comes down with it inside the 10, and that's going to be 1st and goal on the 5-yard line for Wyoming as Hollis drops back, and he can't find anyone. But he finds Blount for a touchdown, and that's going to make it 36-33. But Idaho's not going to stop yet. 2nd and 6 as Andrews fakes the handoff, and Andrews gets 13 yards on the carry. And Aaron Kirby gets a first down on 2nd and 1, and that's going to make it 1st and 10 on the 15-yard line, and Aaron Kirby's going to get 8 yards on the carry to make it 2nd and 2 on the 6-yard line, and Andrews fakes the handoff, and Andrews goes in for a touchdown, and that's going to be 43-33, and that is it. Wyoming cannot come back from this as they have no timeouts left, and there's only a minute left in the game. But Rivers catches it, but there's a flag against Wyoming, and that's going to be holding, and it's going to be 1st and 17 on Wyoming 7, and Hollis almost sacked there, but he completes the pass for 20 yards and a first down, and there's 55 seconds left in the game, and this is going to be it for Wyoming. They have little to no shot to come back in this one, as Idaho is going to get their first win on the year to go 1-1 following a loss to North Texas. Next week they have Northern Illinois at home, and that's going to be a tough one as Northern Illinois is really good, and Idaho may not have a shot to stop their offense as they are unstoppable. They did lose to Iowa in the first week, but they will want redemption here against Idaho because They do not want to start out 0-2 as they had a bye in week 1, and this week they lost to Iowa. So Wyoming spikes it there with 12 seconds left. They're trying to get a garbage time TD to make this look better, but he's sacked, and Wyoming's just going to go ahead and spike the ball. And 1 second left, and Hollis drops back. He passes it to the end zone, but there's no one there, and that's the game, folks. Idaho wins 43-33, and Idaho gets redemption for last week against North Texas when they were just demolished by the Mean Green in North Texas, and Idaho comes out with the win. And as you see, Orange Sauce is getting some points and is close to leveling up. And let's look at some stats. 43-33. And this has been Orange Sauce, and I'll see you next week.